Good morning, everyone. Good morning to my professor, Sir Mursha, and of course to my classmates, and of course the other participants in here dito sa ating session ngayon. So, welcome to our live session for the another topic under in Foundations and Technology Education. So, I am the presenter for today. So, to formally start, aware ako, yung iba sa mga kasamahan ko ngayon ay wala dito sa Metro Manila. It's either nasa provinces yung iba. So, dahil sa mga na-encounter nating calamities and even influenzas, illness na lumalabas ngayong panahong ito. So, I hope everybody's doing fine, everybody's safe, everybody's healthy, no? So, tutok lang kayo dyan, stick lang tayo for today's discussion. So to formally start, let me share my screen. Alright, so na-share ko na yung aking screen. Kindly thumbs up kung nakikita po yung aking slide na shinare. Alright, so since may nag-thumbs up po, so kung makikita ninyo, and ayan, yun yung ating previous topic that is teaching electronics from building circuits to systems thinking and programming. Alright, so recap muna tayo sa ating past lesson or past topic. So meron akong mga inihandang tanong para sa ating recap. Sige po. All right, so I have first question, and that is, which component stores electrical energy? Is it letter A, resistor, B, diode, C, capacitor, or letter D, transistor? Right, so ito yung mga isa sa mga basics ng electrical energy, no? So ano daw po yung nag-i-store? A, B, C, or D? Kindly chat ko ano po yung sagot nila para sa ating first question. Pa-chat po ako. Okay, basahin natin. Okay, may sumagot ng letter C. Okay, sige. May iba, letter A. Let's check kung tama nga ba yung sagot ninyo. And then, the correct answer is, okay, the correct answer is letter C, capacitor. Next, what is the unit of electrical resistance? Electrical resistance, ano po ba yung unit noon? Is it letter A, volt? B, ampere, C, ohm, or letter D, watt? So again, kindly chat kung ano pong sagot nila sa ating next question. Pa-chat ako ng mga sagot nila. Okay, so may nag-chat. Alright, so sumagot ng letter D. May mga sumagot ng letter D. May sumagot ng mga letter C. Okay, let's check kung tama nga ba yung sagot nyo. Alright, the correct answer is letter C. Yes, that is ohm. Pagka-resistance, ohm. Pagka-current ampere. Pagka-power, unit niya ay watts. And lastly, pagka-voltage, ang unit niya that is volt. No? Next, which tool is used to measure current in a circuit? Is it letter A, voltmeter, B, oscilloscope, C, multimeter, or letter D, thermometer? So, again, pasagot ako ng next question natin. Pagka sinabi nating measure current in a circuit, ano kayang tool ito? Kindly chat doon sa mga sagot nila. Sige. Mukhang napapaisip ang iba. Okay, so may sumagot ng letter A, merong letter C. So let's check kung tama, no? Tingnan natin kung tama nga bang sagot niyo. Okay, the correct answer is letter C, multimeter. Okay, so yun ang ginagamit nating tool. And lastly, so what does systems thinking emphasize in electronics? So is it letter A, focusing only on the individual components? Letter B, understanding how components work together? Or letter C, learning circuit symbols? And lastly, letter D, memorizing resistor color codes. Okay, pag sinabing systems thinking. Ano yun? Ano kaya ito? Pa-chat ako, kaya ni chat sa ating chat panel kung ano po ang sagot natin. Okay, check natin kung ano yung mga sagot nyo. Ayun, may sumagot ng letter C. Alright, check natin kung tama. Sige. And then the correct answer is letter B. Understanding. When we say systems thinking, it refers to understanding how components work together. Okay, I think ito na yung last question natin. So in systems thinking, feedback refers to, is it letter A, reducing current? B, increasing voltage? C, output affecting future input? Or letter D, grounding the circuit? Kachat ako ulit ng mga sagot nila dito sa tanong na ito. Ayun, may sumagot ng letter B. Okay, so yung iba naman sumagot ng letter C. Let's check kung tama yung sagot nyo. And the correct answer is letter C. That is output affecting future input. So, sige. Teaching electronics from building circuits to systems thinking and programming based in Handbook of Technology Education, no? So, diniscuss ito ng aking kagrupo from the previous presenter. So, for our insights from Moshi Barak's discussion, we can draw implications for how to design or update electronics teaching. So, tatandaan nyo lang dito, kapag patungkol sa pagbibuild ng circuits, systems, thinking, and programming, tatandaan nyo lang itong mnemonic natin na SATIC. So, SATIC stands for what? So, letter S stands for sequencing. A stands for assessment. T stands for teaching, training. And for letter I stands for infrastructure. And last but not the least, letter C, that is curriculum policy. So, tatandaan mo lang yung salitang SATIC. Okay? Based dun sa insight ni Moshi Barracks, no? So siya yung isa sa mga proponent, no? So sinasabi niya, when it terms to sequencing, it begins with basics, yung components, yung simple circuits, then move to systems, then to programmable systems. A, assessment, no? Which includes pagka nagme-measure tayo, ano bang ginagamit natin, system design, debugging, project work, not only test of component knowledge. Next is letter T, stands for teacher training. So teacher may need upscaling to use programmable hardware to supervise PBL, no? So yung program-based learning to integrate programming, math, or physics. And next for infrastructure, that is labs need to support systems projects such as power, measurement, equipment, microcontrollers, sensors, possibly simulation tools. And lastly is for the curriculum policy, which considers the standards or courses need to be flexible to allow project time, allow interdisciplinary linkages. So again, for the last topic, which is about teaching electronics from building circuits to systems, thinking, and programming, just remember the mnemonic SATIC. Alright, for today's topic, no? So may mga inihanda ulit akong questions para ma-reveal natin kung ano yung topic natin ngayong araw. So, first question, what is indigenous knowledge? Is it letter A, knowledge gained from textbooks and formal education, or letter B, knowledge developed by local communities through long-term interaction with their environment? Or letter C, knowledge imported from foreign cultures and technologies? And letter D, knowledge used only in modern scientific laboratories. So from your own perception, own knowledge, when it terms indigenous knowledge, ano po ito? Sige, kindly chat from our chat panel. Okay, may mga sumagot na. Iba, may sumagot ng letter B. So halos letter B, no? Let's check kung tama kayo. So the correct answer is letter B. So when we say indigenous knowledge, that is knowledge developed by local communities through long-term interaction with their environment. Next. Which of the following best describes an indigenous knowledge system or IKS? Is it letter A method of teaching used only in schools? Or letter B, a set of technologies from modern industries? Letter C, a collection of traditional practices, skills, and beliefs developed by local communities? Or letter D, a type of computer-based learning system? Sige, may mga sumagot na po. So, letter C ang sagot ng iba. Yung iba may sumagot ng letter A. Tingnan natin kung tama yung sagot nyo. The correct answer is letter C. That is a collection of traditional practices, skills, and beliefs developed by local communities. That is IKS or yung Indigenous Knowledge System. Next. Why is indigenous knowledge important in education? Bakit nga ba napakahalaga nito sa larangan ng edukasyon? Is it letter A, it replaces modern science completely? Letter B, it helps learners connect lessons to their cultural and local context. Or letter C, it focuses only on ancient traditions without relevance to today's world. Or letter D, it discourages innovation and modernization. So, kindly chat sa ating chat panel kung ano yung sagot nila. Bakit nga ba importante ang indigenous knowledge? Check natin ang mga sagot ninyo. May sumagot ng letter B. Sige, check natin kung tama kayo. The correct answer is letter B. So, bakit mahalaga to? Because it helps learners connect lessons to their cultural and local context. Next, what does industry involvement in education mean? Is it letter A, allowing companies to fully control the school curriculum? Letter B, collaboration between schools and industries to improve learning and skill development? Or letter C, schools investing in large corporations? Or letter D, teaching business only in college level courses? So, A, B, C, or D? May mga sumagot ng letter B. Okay, let's check kung tama kayo. Pagka sinabi natin industry involvement, so when it terms to industry involvement in education, that is collaboration, letter B, between schools and industries to improve learning and skill development. Next, how can industries can be or be involved in technology education? Is it letter A, by ignoring schools and focusing only on production? Letter B, by providing equipment, internships, and real-world experiences? Or letter C, by controlling teacher training programs? And letter D, by creating unrelated entertainment programs? So, paano nga ba na-involve sa technology education ang industries? Check natin yung sagot nyo. Okay, that is letter B. Okay. Tama nga ba mga sagot nila? Okay, so more on sumagot ng letter B. By providing equipment, internships, and real-world experiences, doon nare-relate ang industries sa ating technology education. Next. Which of the following best highlights the purpose of integrating indigenous knowledge systems with industry involvement? Is it letter A, to combine traditional wisdom with modern practices for sustainable and relevant education? Letter B, to replace cultural practices with industrial technology? Or letter C, to make education purely commercial? Letter D, to eliminate local traditions from learning. So may mga sumagot ng letter B, may letter A. Let's check. Ano bang hina-highlight? That is letter A, to combine traditional wisdom with modern practices for sustainable and relevant education. Kung mapapansin ninyo, nauulit yung indigenous knowledge systems, indigenous knowledge, industry involvement. So obviously, our next topic for this day, that is rethinking technology of technology, which is an approach integrating indigenous knowledge systems, industry involvement in technology education. So sige, bigyan natin ng introduction. So rethinking technology education, this presentation explores rethinking technology education by integrating indigenous knowledge systems, no? And involving industry partnerships to enhance relevance, sustainability, and cultural grounding. So kanina, nagpapasagot tayo, at the same time, binibigay na rin natin yung definition of terms when it terms to IKS. Ano pa yung nabanggit? Yung mga about sa industry involvement, no? So for our objectives and safety guidelines, apply indigenous knowledge systems or IKS in technology education. Identify industry's role in enhancing indigenous-based learning. Develop a framework for successful integration. And lastly, evaluate outcomes in student engagement and cultural relevance. So for our safety guidelines, respect all indigenous protocols and cultural practices. No? Bakit nga ba natin nire-respeto? Kasi particularly, parte siya ng ating simply personality ng isang community, no? Kung ano yung nabubuong cultural practices doon, yung mga super tedious belief and other practices, no? So dapat natin respetuhin 'yon. Avoid the misuse or misrepresentation of shared knowledge, no? And lastly, i-consider din natin, of course, maintain ethical and transparent collaboration with industry partners. So ito yung mga itatakel natin. So for our materials and equipment, no? So for our materials, yes, may mga ilang case studies tayo for IKS, no? Indigenous Knowledge System, documentation tools, integrated learning modules, and for equipment, we have computer with design tools, no? Workshop instruments, prototyping materials, and for special instructions to obtain community permission first, strictly follow safety and cultural norms. All right, so for our experimental procedures, so ito yung mga, ano, ito yung mga steps, ito yung framework ng ating study, ating case study. So first is partner selection, which identify a relevant indigenous community and a willing industry partner to begin the collaboration. So double check natin. Ano nga bang partner selection? So meron tayo mga sample case studies which is located here in the Philippines. Unahin na nating itakel yung ating agriculture and sustainable farming. So under indigenous community, so i-highlight natin yung Ifugao community. So sila yung subject natin, no? Doon sa indigenous community. So kung mapapansin ninyo, sa Ifugao community, kilala ang kanilang landmark na rice terraces, no? So ito yung traditional irrigation systems nila. Normally, wala naman silang ina-apply na technology, no? Meron lang silang mga resources na pinagkukunan ng kanilang water irrigations such as yung simple yung tag-ulan and yung forest watershed. So doon usually nila pinadadaan at the same time para maiwasan din yung mga sakuna. Yan din yung basis nila, no? Sige. Ito yung ating indigenous community, Ifugao community. Now, for industry partners, so para magkaroon tayo ng, yes, of course, involvement or integration, particularly sa ahensya o sa sektor. Pagdating sa agrikultura, syempre, yung Department of Education o DA or a local agri-tech company gaya ng mga smart agriculture, no? So, with the help of our agency or sector, ano yung napoproduce natin? Ano yung nagiging agenda ngayon? From the previous practices, which is yung patungkol sa irrigation. Ngayon, meron na tayong mga nabubuo, which is combining traditional rice cultivation methods with modern sustainable farming technologies such as soil sensors and organic fertilizers. So, with the help of soil sensor, no, aside dun sa proper irrigation, nade-determine din natin yung alin, yung kondisyon ng ating lupa, no? Ano pa? Yung organic fertilizers para sa growth lalo ng ating mga lupain, ng ating pananim, may mga ina-apply na tayong technologies with the help of what sector? Department of Agriculture, which is sila yung ah, ahensya ng government technically na kung saan tumutulong sa ating mga magsasaka na mas lalong lumago ang agrikultura. Next. Okay, for summary, again, ang ginamit nating subject is Ifugao Community for Indigenous Community. And for industry partner, that is Department of Agriculture. At ano yung naging agenda? Ano yung naging outcome? So yung pagko-combine ng traditional rice cultivation methods with modern sustainable farming technologies, kaya nga ng soil sensors and organic fertilizers. Next, let's move on to handicrafts and entrepreneurship. So kung mapapansin ninyo, sa handicrafts and entrepreneurship, ang indigenous community natin dito. So, that is Tiboli community in South Cotabato known for Tinalak weaving. No? So, yung mga Tiboli in South Cotabato, so technically located sila sa Mindanao. No? Yung mga katutubong Tiboli. Anong ginagawa nila? Ano ba yung part ng kultura sa kanila? Yan yung tinalak weaving o yung paghahabi, no? Para saan ba yan yung pagwi-weaving nila at para sa kanila simple yung kanilang kultura. Sa ano bang nagre-reflect sa kanilang culture? Unang-una yung kanilang kasuotan, no? Part ng kanilang tradisyon na magsuot na gawa sa tinalak weaving. Okay? So ito yung isa sa mga indigenous community o yung subject natin na community for handicrafts and entrepreneurship. No? Usually saan magawa yung mga yan? So it's either sa abaka, sa kung ano pang organic material. No? So ano yung partner natin dito? So usually ang partner natin when it turns to entrepreneurship, since magpo-fall to sa business, no? That is DTI or the Department of Trade and Industry. No? Which is particularly dun sa fashion design company. Okay? So ano yung naging focus nila? Ma-preserve yung traditional weaving, yung traditional, while improving product design, marketing, and e-commerce skills. Kung mapapansin ninyo, parte ng ekonomiya yung kanilang kultura. Parte ng ating ekonomiya yun. Bakit? Kasi nabebenta nila yung kanilang mga tradisyon na kasuotan. No? Nape-preserve yun habang kumakalat yung nag-i-spread. Kaya ginagawa natin dapat ng mga Pinoy, tangkilikin ng sariling atin. Dapat bumili rin tayo, hindi lang ng pangdayuhang mga kasuotan, kundi yung sa kanila rin. And of course, e-commerce skills. So, mina-market din nila to. Okay? Next. So for renewable energy and community innovation, ang ating target indigenous community dito, syempre, yung mga Aita, particularly dun sa Zambales. Aita community sa Zambales, no? So, ano yung partner natin when it comes to renewable energy? Ano ba yung mga renewable energy? So, ito yung mga enerhiya na kung saan ako-convert natin sa kuryente, di ba? So, ito yung mga ginagamit natin. Ano ba yung mga sample nun? Pero bago yon, ang ating industry partner dito is yung Energy Development Corporation o EDC o kaya yung mga renewable energy, no? Na may mga under na non-government organization gaya nitong Synergy, Renovable, no? Sige. Ano bang naging focus nila? Integrating indigenous knowledge of natural resources with solar or microhydro power systems for remote villages. So, mainly, ang nabanggit na ahensya at gayon din ang mga non-government organization which is under from renewable sector, no? Renewable energy sector. So, ang kanilang agenda matulungan, magkaroon ng conveniency, yung alin, yung mga katutubo natin o yung doon sa mga remote areas, no? Or remote villages. So it's either makikita nyo dyan, nagtayo sila ng mga solar panels, no? Since mayaman naman talaga tayo when it comes to solar energy. And of course, aside from that, yung micro hydropower systems na tinatawag natin. So napakaraming resources, particularly sa provinces, sa rural areas, para mag-convert tayo ng kuryente. No? Ano pa? So, ito yung ating summary. Yung indigenous community, again, EITA community in Zambales, industry partner that is Energy Development Corporation or EDC, or from the non-government organizations which is under also from renewable energy sector. At ang naging focus nila again is integrating indigenous knowledge of natural resources with solar or micro hydro power systems for remote villages. Okay, so that is our partner selection samples. So aside from that, ano pang ginawa ng ating research team? No? So ang ginawa natin, of course, documentation. Observe and carefully document traditional technologies, materials, and methods. Kaya nga natin na-preserve. Kasi meron ding proper documentation. May proper safekeeping tayo sa culture na meron tayo. Ano pa? Ano pa yung in-apply natin? Integration workshops. No? We conduct hands-on workshops that bring students, community elders, and industry experts together. So, simply yung livelihood. No? Para lalo ma-enhance natin. Nagkakaroon o nag-undergo tayo ng workshops. Ano pa? Hybrid prototyping. So we create new hybrid prototypes that combine traditional knowledge with modern technology. Ito kung saan ina-applyan na natin ng mga disenyo. It's either computer aided design, gawa sa CAD, no? So nagpo-prototype tayo para lalong magkaroon ng innovation. At the same time, mas lalong maging convenient, accessible yung gusto nating i-produce o yung gusto nating maging outcome. And lastly, presentation and feedback. Napakalaga na ito. Present the final results and prototypes to the community and industry for feedback and validation. So doon mas lalo natin na pagyayaman, no? Kumbaga na po-prosper natin yung ating kultura, yung mga indigenous people, indigenous community, with regards to their cultural traditions, kung ano yung pamumuhay nila, simply, mas lalo natin tong napagyayaman kasi ano, ikinakalat natin, pinamamalita natin, at the same time, inaaral ng mga eksperto para mas lalong mapagyaman at mapabuti at mapag-preserve din ito. So, for our data and observations, a comparative look at the characteristics of indigenous and modern technological practices observed during the project. So, for the aspect, we have the materials used, energy resource, and of course, the design method, no? Which is under dun sa ginawa natin kanina, yung framework natin. So, ano yung mga naging indigenous practice? Ano ba yung nakita ninyo? So, usually, gumamit tayo ng bamboo, rattan, and other natural fibers for the material use, no? And for modern practice, ano? So, nag-i-innovate tayo. Nung una, bamboo ang ginagamit, no? So, nag-i-innovate tayo. It's either steel, plastic, or composites. Yun ang ating ginagamit for modern practice. For energy source, kung mapapansin ninyo yun, nabanggit na natin to kanina yung solar. And aside from solar, which is considered as renewable, yung wind and other manual renewable sources, no? So ano yung nagiging outcome? Ano yung modern practice niya? So electrical, no? Ginagamit natin siya for electrical. And of course, fossil fuels, another energy siya. But sadly, hindi siya renewable. Pero still, napagkukunan natin. So ito yung mga modern practice din natin ngayon. Yung gawa sa fossil, which is simply nagiging fuels ng ating mga vehicles na yan. Next, for design method. So we have the community base, no? Pinakita lang natin kung ano yung itsura ng komunidad ng pamumuhay, no? Ng mga indigenous people or community. So for modern practice, yes, we innovate it. Again, gaya na sinabi ko kanina, using the prototypes, digital design, or yung mga computer-aided design, even yung simulation. So, ginagawa din natin yan. And for the analysis and interpretation, so we interpret based dun sa analysis ng different partnerships, uh, different subject, indigenous people. Aside from that, yung business related nila, even yung energy or yung resources na pinagkukunan nila. So, based from the analysis and interpretation, integrating indigenous knowledge system into technology education significantly increases student engagement, creativity, and cultural appreciation. This approach allows students to connect modern learning with traditional wisdom, fostering a deeper understanding of sustainability and relevance in a real-world context. Kung mapapansin ninyo, we integrate. Di naman natin siya ina-obsolete eh. Ang ginagawa natin, pinipreserve natin to with of course, with the use of modern technologies. At ano yung nagiging basis natin? Yung traditional wisdom. No? So we integrate both. No? Alright. So ano ba yung mga nagiging benefits nito? Of course, first is yung fosters deeply contextualized learning. No? Ano pa? Strengthens students' cultural identity and pride. And lastly, promotes innovative and sustainable solutions. Ito yung mga benepisyo na kukuha natin sa pag-integrate natin. Ano pa? Yung challenges naman is yung balancing industrial priorities with cultural values. So isa yan sa challenges eh. 'Di ba? Usually nabanggit natin yung kanina yung industry involvement like internships, no? Bakit? Kasi we shared values and culture. Nababago rin, no? With the practices of other modern eras, no? So, dapat nababalanse natin yun. Gaya nga na sinabi natin, hindi dapat ma-obsolete kung ano yung kultura noon, especially sa mga katutubo. No? Ensuring ethical representation of knowledge. So, dapat meron tayong proper etiquette when it terms to the knowledge in indigenous. Hindi yung parang kinakahiya natin. We must proud of na galing tayo dito at nagkakaroon ng inobasyon base dun sa pinagmula natin. And next, requires accurate and respectful documentation. So since meron kang proper etiquette, ma-apply mo yan. Yung maayos na documentation, maayos na presentation sa ating kapwa Pilipino. Alright, for our conclusion, the indigenous of or rather the integration of indigenous knowledge systems and industry collaboration is not just an enhancement but a transformative step. It creates an inclusive, sustainable, and innovative technology education that truly bridges the gap between tradition and modernity, preparing students for a more holistic and culturally aware future. So, holistic, no? Na nabanggit, not just in our mental perspective, even our affective, the emotional um, act as a Filipino. Dapat hindi natin kinakahiya. Hindi naman natin sila ini-exclude yung mga katutubo ngayon. No? Pero sad to say, in reality, may ilang ganun. Parang hindi nila tanggap. Para mas lalo natin mapalago kung anong meron tayo, kung ano yung mga resources natin. Hindi dapat natin, again, ine-exclude, hindi nag-o-obsolete yung ating mga tradisyon noon, especially IKS, Indigenous Knowledge System. We must integrate it, no? At the same time, merong industry involvement with regards to that. All right. So, for our finalization or our generalization, we have the insight para mas matandaan natin. We have the mnemonic TECHI. So, TECHI stands for letter T, stands for tradition meets technology. Next, letter E stands for education that empowers communities. Letter C, collaboration with industry and indigenous experts. Letter H, hands-on and culturally grounded learning. Letter I, innovation rooted in identity. And letter E, environmental and ethical responsibility. So sige, breakdown natin isa-isa. Again, tandaan nyo lagi yung salitang TECHI. No? So, TECHI, yan lang lagi ang ating tandaan. Tandaan nyo, ano nga bang stance ng TECHI? Alright, so pag sinabi nating TECHI, traditions meets technology, we must blend indigenous traditions with modern tech practices. This helps students see that innovation can grow from cultural roots, not just Western models. Yung example nga kanina, yung local weaving, no, ng mga tibuli for teaching design or pattern coding. And for letter E, education that empowers communities. Teaching technology should uplift local communities, not replace their practices. Integrating IKS ensures learning benefits both students and the people around them. So yung example kanina, projects that solve community problems using local materials and sustainable ideas. No? Another thing is yung collaboration with industry and indigenous experts. Okay. So, true rethinking means creating partnerships, gaya na nakita natin kanina, do sa mga government and private sectors, between schools, industries, and indigenous groups to make learning real and relevant. No? Example is a weaving cooperative and a textile company co-developing eco-friendly designs. And for letter H, hands-on and culturally grounded learning. So students learn best through doing, especially when lessons are linked to cultural context. No? So, yung sample natin dito is building solar dryers inspired by indigenous resource use and environmental care. And another thing, innovation rooted in identity. Technology isn't just machines. Always remember that. It's about who creates it and why. So, saan tayo ba nagsimula? Integrating indigenous knowledge system nurtures identity, pride, and creativity grounded in local knowledge. No? Gaya na nabanggit natin kanina dun sa irrigation method ng Ifugao community. So we just design it para mas lalo magkaroon ng conveniency, accessibility, at lalong ma-nurture natin yung ating culture. Next, letter E, environmental and ethical responsibility. So indigenous systems teach respect for nature when paired with modern industry. It forms a balanced, sustainable approach to technology education. Katulad ng watershed kanina, ginamit natin with micro hydro projects. Yung pagmamerge ng traditional and applying technology. So, for our, or in summary, TECHI, which is yung mnemonic, helps educators remember that rethinking technology education isn't just about tools. It's about transforming values, teaching with culture, and connecting education to real-world communities and industries. Okay. So again, that's it. That is all about culture, application, and of course, integration. Yan pumapaloob ang aking topic for today. So thank you, and I hope aside sa informative, may apply din natin sa mga sarili natin. So have a good day everyone. Again, good morning. I am Kevin Apili. So we are signing out. Thank you po.